Good evening, guys. DeathClock Dave here, and welcome to another Wednesday night live stream battle report recap. This evening we were testing out some of the new hotness. So we had Cory playing Mercenaries, and Cory, what was your pairing this evening?
Gorten and Ostrom.
All right, and they were both in the irregulars. Okay, and I was playing Convergence. I switched it up, so I was playing Locke in Destruction and Initiative. This is a list that I borrowed from Sung Soon and his podcast. So giving that a whirl, as I've only played her once before at Lock and Load, and it was definitely not an optimized list. And I took Locke as well in Clockwork Legions. I'm excited about doing some dude spam recursion, so that was my pairing. And Cory, what did you choose this evening?
I chose Gorten for something different to play.
All right.
And honestly, I thought I could attrition well and actually have game depending on the scenario.
It's a lot of dudes. And I chose Locke to give her a try. He's got some relatively high armor in his lists, so I figured that that would be the best way to go, because in my Clockwork Legions list, even with positive charge, my reciprocators and things I think get up to POW 16, so it's a little bit pillow-fisted. I think I've just got one heavy in there, so it has a bit of an issue dealing with high armor, especially under something like Awesome Feat where he's they're at +3. So this evening we are playing Invasion, which is one of the new scenarios, which we'll talk about here in a second. And Cory won the roll and decided to go second and chose Table Edge. Cory, any reason why you picked that specific side?
Yeah, I just felt it gave me a better position to be super aggressive with Gorten. Mm-hmm. If I got a good pitch and was able to get up the board fast, then I would be behind the house.
Gotcha. So I went first. Cory, what are your theme benefits for regular?
Advanced move on every heavy warjack if you have it for each unit you have in your army. Mm-hmm. I have 2 heavy warjacks and 6 units, so it's pretty easy to get advanced move. Mm-hmm. The second benefit is a Jack Marshal benefit, which is Jack Marshal Jacks gain flank friendly faction warrior model. The third benefit, of course, is free craft.
Free stuff, yep. So with Destruction Initiative, I get +2 inches to my deployment zone. All of my servitors become shield guards, and I get free stuff. And I could take Eilish if I wanted. So with Invasion, we've got 2 circular zones on either flank, which are Warcaster, Warlock, units, and then we have a central rectangular zone, which is vertical, which is Warcaster, Warlock, Warbeast, Warjack, Battle Engine, and then we have 2 objectives. Cory chose the Pathfinder objective, and I chose the Healing objective, which I forgot about all games. So we're a little bit advanced in the video here, guys, because we had some audio-visual issues. We had streamed, the last time we streamed was at Mox's, so I had a bit of a funky setup. So we'll talk briefly about the terrain. So at the bottom we have 2 forests. Just above and kind of the middle of the table we have water. To the far left of that we have a wall. Above that and in the center by the rectangular zone we have a house. To the right of that we have another forest. Above that we have a hill, and to the far left at the top we have rubble, which is cover and rough terrain. And so my setup is already done. So I basically got Locke central. I've got the jacks pretty all kind of grouped up together. I wanted to make sure that I could get red line on the far left inverter, and I was trying to plan it so that I could get all of my upkeeps out. Which costs all 7 focus, and then allocate 1 from the corollary and have that run through the whole line to have them all run and also end up back on the corollary. So, Cory, how are you setting up here?
I deployed Forge Guard to the top because my intent is to take that top zone with feet and some brute strength and ignorance. Then I put a unit of steel above them, then I put the driller, then the risen, and then a gun bunny, and then my caster with Grogspar behind him, a basher. I've got Rupert and Cancel Spells Orin Midwinter in there. Then I've got Basher, Steelhead, Gun Bunny, 3rd unit of Steelhead. Press Gangers advanced to play with arrows.
So I'd just like to point out that there are a lot of dudes on the table. many dudes and recursion.
It's actually less than I normally play.
I denied part of your recursion at least because you can't Shanghai me, but yeah, that's a lot of recursion on the table.
Recursion in this game.
Yeah,
I just need to win that top zone fast.
Yep, yeah, it's hard for me with the limited number of attacks to take out that many guys. The modulator with the electro beam and the assimilator with the ground pounder help to try and get bang for my buck in terms of the attacks. Because if it wasn't for those guys, I wouldn't have nearly enough attacks to chew through. You could just run in and engage me, and even with Jackhammer and my initials, I'd just be jammed up all game long. So this is, I guess, one of the benefits of having that set up rather than something like the Axiom. I was originally thinking about having the Axiom, but the interwebs seem to be favoring the heavy spam. So here I am. I have kept all of my focus on Locke. I cast Redline on the far left inverter. I cast Sentry on the Cypher. He doesn't have a ton of Pathfinder. He has Rupert and his objective, so I wanted to be getting as many 4-inch rough terrains out as possible. And I also cast Road to War, of course, to try to get my movement shenanigans. So ran my Conservator at the bottom right up, just to get in the forest, and I double-checked that I was outside of threat of basically everything except for Eris. She threatens the world because she is speed 7 and range 12, and I was very aware of her shot because it does do disruption. So here I ran my Redline inverter, so you can run really far because Redline is +2 speed. I did forget to do the damage on this turn, but I went back and added it afterwards, so don't forget to roll your D3 damage. And really just running everything up, so trying to get the modulator a bit to the left to square off against the Forge Guard and the Halberdiers that are on the left flank. I wanted my Cypher central to try and pop out those rough terrains. I wanted Inverter central to just threaten his, especially his Warjacks. I was afraid of the Driller, so I wanted my Redline inverter to square off against the Driller. And other than that, it's just really just running things up to be in spots where they can threaten the next turn. I made sure that I had my servitors spread out in such a way that all of my things were covered for shield guards because I did not want to be disrupted. So over to you, Cory.
So my plan is to win on Clocker scenario. I don't think I can win attrition fully. I don't know if I can kill all of your stuff fast enough unless I get lucky. And one bad turn for me or good turn for you kills a ton of my stuff. So I'm deciding what I want to do, Gordon. Whether it's just going to be a charge or whether I'm actually going to pitch him turn 1. Grogspar with solid ground means I can pitch an extra die 6 inches. The problem there is if I roll a 6, then I can't pitch the next turn.
Oh, because he's then out of range.
I can advance 11, but then I can't pitch again because
really
Grogspar's a half-inch melee.
Yeah.
So you really want on the feet turn, so I end up just charging. I cast solid ground on a rock wall, and then I fill a charge. It does take me way too long to come up to that decision because I also want to like snap a shot at Eris and try and draw him into shooting back because I don't want him. Either one is Jack's in my face and engaging me in melee and killing my stuff, or I want him staying back and shooting me to make my feet even better. Either way, I want to make my feet as good as possible.
It's a very good feat
because there's some real good gameplay in it. So either draw him in to shoot me, or I either draw him in, or he stays back and shoots a bunch. So to set the line, I just ran some press gangers at him because I really don't care about them because they're press gangers.
Yeah, there's a lot of dudes in my face.
So I run a unit of press gangers forward, spread them out, just to give them lots of like free things to kill on Road to War.
And depth 13 and tough, so it does give me some issues. So
the bonus is it's attacks you have to make. It's dice you have to roll. I have tough no knockdown for a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
And honestly,
I'm only at 5.
Honestly, if you roll to war towards me, I can feed on you. If you don't advance towards me, I can push you out with scenario.
Yep.
I move the steel up on the top. I move the Forge Guard up in behind. So I know I got to trade jacks. And if I try to hold the Driller back, he just holds his jacks back and shoots me. I need to at least get stuff in the fight and not dance around and lose a ton of stuff to shooting. So I just move the Driller up to just die. And then the Forge Guard are going to kill whatever kills it because he's got to put a heavy in. Now I'm moving Eris up just to take a pot shot. I shoot, kill a drone because they're awesome.
I'm assuming you remembered that I had shield guards everywhere?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I need you to come kill Eris.
Yes.
If you don't come kill Eris, then you're not advancing.
Yeah.
So with the Basher is the piece I want to keep. So I hide it a bit behind the wall. I keep it sort of out of the way, and I'm hoping that he shoots, kills Eris, and that doesn't attack the Basher. because it's going to be super important next turn to slam stuff out of zones if I need it. I misplace it here. It should be actually more closer to my objective, so I can pathfinder it and cover the zone. The Risen just run in front of my caster, and then I just run the gun bunnies sort of to be in the way, because I've only played the list a couple times and I'm still bad at moving it. So my gun buddies are a bit in the way, which means it's going to be entertaining next turn to try and get order of activation.
Not like Ostrom where you can just move through all your own dudes.
I'm used to Ostrom.
Over to my turn, so I'm having a look. I take a lot more time on my turns than I should. I think in this turn I actually forgot to allocate focus, so that was pretty great. Luckily, having Jackhammer helps that a bit. So here I'm just fixing the damage that I did not mark on my inverter with red lines, so just marking that so that he has taken that damage. I know I want to take out the Driller because the Driller with Strength of Granite scares me, and I knew I was basically going to be getting my inverter into it, and then the Forge Guard just do a ton of damage. So I knew I was going to be trading, but I did not want the Driller alive because he's got Sustained, which negates my feat. So if I end up dropping catalytic tokens on my jacks to up the defense, all he has to do is hit me once, and then it's game over, and then he's POW 24 or something. Yeah, so something silly like that. So I knew I wanted him dead. I knew that my jack was going to die in retaliation because he's got the Forge Guard there and a full unit of Halberdiers. Yes, I'm pretty sure I forgot to allocate focus. I upkept everything, of course, because I am resourceful, so I upkeep everything for free. Here I'm just trying to figure out what I'm able to kill. I want to make sure Eris dies, because if I leave her alone, I only have so many shield guards.
You take your free shot and hit with the rough terrain also.
Oh yes, right, yeah. Okay, I took my free shot and did was it rough terrain or was it flare? Yeah, rough terrain. Just to kind of get in the way. So that was the sentry shot. Yeah, I know I want to kill Eris because if she is left in play long enough, it's not hard for him to kill enough shield guards that all of a sudden he's disrupting my jacks, or God forbid he gets on my caster, which would be really terrible. So I knew she had to die. That was my one mission, that and trying to kill the Driller. Other than that, it's just trying to kill dudes in front of me. So I'm moving up my elimination servitors, and I'm pretty sure I roll 11s all day long here. So my elimination servitor is only Rat 5, and he is defense 13 on the press gangers. So just shooting out them to try and proc Road to War to get ahead a little bit, just to try to kill as many dudes as possible. I know I'm going to have to leverage my ground pounder to try to kill Eris, and if possible anything else that's around her, and the modulator I need to try to get in a spot where I'm going to be killing dudes. There's so many dudes, I need to start whittling them down, because if he just jams me up, then he can control the board. So this is us just doing careful placement of where I believe this is where the ground pounder jack is going to land to be able to place his.
This is where your caster goes.
Oh, this is where my caster is going.
You're deciding whether I'm going to be able to feed drag you in.
Oh, okay. Right.
Gordon's feet is an 8-inch push in any direction towards any table edge I choose. And then a bunch of stat debuffing.
Yes, and I did not know about the Gorton or the pitch dude. I didn't know that trick. So yes, so that's a bit of a
Gordon has solid ground, gives him steady, and Grogspur has just native pitch on a basic melee attack. So if I can hit the melee attack, I pitch myself. Yeah,
which extends, because I was thinking, okay, he only threats 14 on the feet, but that adds
a die 6.
Any to 1 to 6 onto that. So it's a bit risky. So I didn't want to get just Locke killed early. And she's got a control range of 16 inches with the corollary, so she's able to stay pretty far back and still be relatively effective. Because I've got 2 arc nodes in the list to hand out that jackhammer.
Down, you should have been down.
Why not?
I have solid ground.
Oh, nice. You're the worst, Cory.
Because I put the knockdown here, I just did it on the jack.
Okay, gotcha. Because it works for everything, not just warrior models, eh?
Yeah, friendly faction models.
Yeah, we're good at this game, guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
What did I knock him down with? The inverter's up there already. Yeah. So the inverter, from a Road to War, he was able to get out around the house and then charge the Driller to knock him
movement
down
on the second shot, so I don't think it mattered. And your hit rolls were good.
Yes, and I also forgot about Precision Strike until later on, and that's important to kind of make sure you're taking out something like a Cortex, knocking down, and then he can't shake and get up and retaliate if you don't kill him. So that's a good trick if you remember it. Here I just do some dirtling around. I'm just killing some some press gangers to try to clear out the way. I wasn't too worried about the purple halberdiers because they're far enough behind the forest. I figured as long as I stay, because what's the threat on them? 11 or something, right?
Halberdiers threat 11. Speed 9, speed 6, goes to 9, charge 11.
Yeah, so I figured I wasn't too worried about them because they're so far away right now, but they're going to be able to flood the zone. So it's really just trying to. I moved up my. Did I shoot with the Cypher yet, or I just rode toward him? I think I rode toward him up to. I'm trying to land a flare on Eris because he is immune to blast damage because of solid ground. So here I'm going ahead and doing a flare shot on Eris, just hoping for scatter so she does have stealth. Trying to get rid of her stealth, which isn't a big deal because I'm going to try to ground pound her anyway, but dropping her defense by 2 is the bigger one.
Yeah, you need 11.
But I don't manage to land on her. I rolled too far, so that was unfortunate. But I think I caught a couple of guys, but it wasn't really, it was like a press ganger or something and a couple of things. Oh, and some things up by your driller, so not a big deal there with the flare. And here's my ground pounder, so figuring out where my assimilator wants to be to drop the ground pounder to try and catch as much as possible, including Eris. I want to try to keep him slightly behind the house, if possible as well, to keep him in a spot where if something charges me, I can potentially get that +2 defense around the obstruction, or if there's something that's going to shoot me other than a blaster, then I would get cover. So that was the intent there. So I do manage to crank the roll on Eris and kill her. Forgot about this. Is it corpse? It's corpse tokens, right?
Yeah.
For Alexius, we forgot about that for a couple of these. But Eris was dead, which was one of the missions for the turn. And this is another. Oh, this is a flare bot. So just going up, trying to shoot and bring down the defense of the press ganger, because that defense 13 versus map 5 is sad. So it makes me have to basically rely on Engine of Destruction, especially this turn when I did not allocate any focus, which left me on a whole bunch. So I can jackhammer, but that means that I'm not able to boost. So that was so allocate focus, guys. Pro tip. Here I am doing. Oh, this is the zap from the modulator, so you can see the modulator just behind my objective, so I can see through my objective. Took out one guy, I think.
Yeah.
So the modulator shot, the direct zap or the indirect zap does not proc Road to War, so that's just something to remember because it's not considered an attack. Yeah, here I'm just dirtling around some more because my inverter that's in the central part of the table is all he can do is walk because I did not put any focus on him. So I mean, really, the only thing that he can get to is a press ganger anyway. So charging wasn't a huge deal. So just trying to get him into a spot where he can. I think he can just engage the one guy. So it's just trying to work through the front chaff. I know there's a big counterpunch coming behind because of all the halberdiers. Trying to make sure I also have something of significance toward that zone as well, so he can't just easily clear the zone because his turn will be the scoring turn. So I believe I have run my, yes, you can see my arc node is at the bottom of kind of to the left of the top circle, just by the house there, so I ran him within 6 of the inverter. So I am doing the jackhammer, and now we're remembering precision strike. So just want to try to make sure that I'm killing the driller. The driller is armor 19, right?
Yep.
And I'm POW
19.
POW 19 for the non-knockdown one. So straight dice. I end up killing the driller, so that was good. I knew I was going to lose that inverter in the trade, but the driller scared me. So just tried to put a couple of servitors in the zone to try to make it a bit more difficult to clear the zone. I don't have a ton of throwaway models in this list because the servitors are also good as shield guards and the plinking for proccing Road to War. And here, I'm not sure if we're over to you now. Or
yeah,
what
it's my turn.
Okay, so we're over to Cory's turn now, and we're doing some proxying. Are you trying to figure out where
my charge is
going to end up?
So my hope is I can charge. Mm-hmm. So if I charge, I actually catch everything, including your caster, in a feat, and then I just push you all back.
Yes.
And then I just have to kill those 3 to win.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I can't charge because I only have a half-inch melee on my pig sticker and my hammer, which sucks because like 1-inch melee and I manage to charge.
Yeah, and I should have been more paying attention to that because I wasn't thinking about I was thinking about how far Locke was back because I didn't want the rat
I also,
debuff to float
by the
in
way, I
my
also have
deck.
the Pathfinder objective, so my hope was I could charge, and then I can just Pathfinder a couple gun buddies to run in front of me and block my block me, so you can't actually just get to me and jackhammer me to death.
Yeah.
Because I think your caster can still get to me, and the caster may be the one model I don't get in my feet, but I get the jacks, and getting the jacks is sort of primary. All three of them at -3 rat and -3.
Yeah, the 3 heavies in the central part of the table. You missed the. You missed a couple of the jacks, but it was the big melee beat sticks were the ones that were.
So I dirtle for a bit, and I don't dirtle. I'm in the tank for a bit because I just really need to. I need to figure out how to get Gorten as far forward as possible to maximize my feet, because I'm gonna win the top zone. I have enough reach to get 2 models into each of your dudes to kill them. I'm gonna feed the jack in the top zone out of it towards probably my basher, and then put Force Guard into it, and then I'm gonna slide everything else sideways, because I'm going to choose towards the bottom edge of the table, or bottom edge of the screen. And that should almost free up the middle zone also if I can kill the objective. If not, it means that the next turn I just have to kill the objective to score it, and very easily score the top again. So if I get far enough forward, I can actually get enough stuff that he can't actually run into the zones, which is my hope. So now I've decided my feet direction. I'm just making sure that we agree where models can actually slide to on the feet and who would hit who. So I charge the last 2 remaining press gangers into his double arm shield dude.
Conservator.
I think I do a few points of damage. It wasn't a ton, but it was
20.
Decently enough for the fact they're POW 11. And then I've got to clear out space for my caster. So I think Orin Midwinter bought an attack and kill the dude, or he's about to buy an attack and kill the dude.
Yes, kills one of your own dudes, which is.
No, I spray bunnied because I love spray bunnies.
Spray bunnies are great. All right, and cleared out Servitor. It looks like a proc and a Vengeance.
Yeah, that was gonna proc anyways.
Yeah, well, it's.
I need the servitors of the way to clump all the jacks.
Yeah, there's not really any way to not proc it.
My plan here is hopefully I'm able to get the basher through and slam into the group of dudes, and I can get strength of granite on the basher. That's the hope. Unfortunately, not everything goes as planned, so I decided to move Ragman forward. My one is to charge with Ragman, Dark Shroud onto a group of 3 or 4. Dark Shroud on a group of 3 or 4 of his of the heavies here, and at least get 2 of them with melee attacks, because I have 9 to 12 steelhead I'm going to put into him. So I kill with Orin there. That way I can move the one gun bunny sort of out of the way without having to run him out of the game, because I don't want to back him up because they're speed 10. So then Grosper walks in behind Gorten, and Grosper opts to pitch for an extra die 6 inches, and needs to roll a 4, and does not get a 4.
This was good times, yeah.
So it needs a 5, because I am defense 13 versus Matt 6, so goes to 8, needs a 5. So I miss, which is every other game with him. So instead, Gordon's going to move forward, pops his feet, drags the inverter towards the bottom of the edge, and then I just move all the jacks into a clump. Unfortunately, I missed the jack at the top of the screen.
So you can see the cipher is
the left of the screen.
Cipher is the orange proxy because there's so many. It's hard to fit everybody in there with all the arms and such. So they're in a lovely clump for Ragman to Death Shroud or Death Field to give Dark Shroud.
But I really only need to kill 2. If I can kill 2, it gives me a pretty good tilt and swing. And 10 steelhead charging at dice off 6, I should kill a couple. Because that's 40 plus points of damage, 48 points of damage.
Yeah.
I did also hit you for just 6 points of damage with Molten Metal.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty... I was wondering if that was going to come into effect this turn, because that's a good way to do 6 damage right off the bat, because I'm not hard to hit. It is a good part of your stack, because you only focus 5. So
it's I could do it twice and have a focus camped, or upkeep solid ground, but I don't want to be on 0 camp, because I know theoretically the jack I can't at the top of the screen, or at the top left, can actually get to my caster, because it's not crippled in movement with the feet, so it's a problem. And I know that it's only power strength. It's base strength 14, so dice off 5. If you jackhammer like 6 or 7 times, I can probably live through that. And if you redline it, you only get like 4 jackhammers.
Oh, the modulator, yeah.
So I can probably live through the jackhammered versions on a 2 camp, but if I have 0 camp, I die. So I camp 2.
Yeah.
I then send the forge or the steelhead forward, and they're just going to try and kill basically everything that needs to die.
I think there's two servitors and my one arc node there, so. I had to have the arc node in that spot in order to get the jackhammer off. Otherwise, it's nice to keep those arc nodes alive. But yeah, 3. You had more than enough attacks to clear that zone, which is what I figured.
I still have a hand cannon going to also.
Yep.
So then I put all 10 Forge Guard because I'm bad at figuring out how much damage Forge Guard do.
There's a lot of Forge Guard.
I slam actually with my first attack. So it's a 5 damage dice, and I think I do like 3 damage.
Is it POW 11?
POW 12.
POW 12 Weapon Master.
Yep, so dice off 7.
And 5 dice damage because you slam me and get the extra. You slam me into
my basher, which knocks my basher, in air quote, knocks my basher down. So I have to sack mover action with my basher now, which screws up my next play. But I took the slam for the extra dice to make sure I killed it, forgetting that Forge Guard are amazing anyways.
Because you don't have solid ground up right now?
I have solid ground up, but I've knocked down during my turn, so must sack mover action.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
So I actually managed to do okay damage on the second attack. I think I do like 6 or 7 again. And then it's like the fourth attack actually ends up cranking, or third attack ends up cranking damage.
Yeah, it's like 15 or something. I don't know. There was some ridiculous. Forge Guard, that's what they do.
Dice off 7, I should do 7 points of damage with the slam. 10.5 for with the slam. Yep. So the 2 guys that crit slammed you off the start should actually have done 21 points of damage.
Yep.
So damage shouldn't be an issue.
Nope. So here we come in with a bunch of Steelhead.
Yeah, I managed to get all of them into melee plus 2 from the other unit.
Yep.
Might have been 3 from the other
unit. So you got at least a couple on the Conservator, I think, and then you kind of spread out the attacks, get a little bit on everybody.
Well, the two I need and want to kill are the 2 on the bottom.
Yeah.
But I know I'm not going to kill the 1, so I just threw a couple attacks at it to soften it for the next turn. I thought I'm doing dice off 6. So at dice off 6, I should be able to spread.
Because you got Dark Shroud on all of them.
Yeah, I got Dark Shroud on all of them. So I should be able to spread at dice off 6.
I'm armor 17 and
POW 11.
Yeah, 17 and 18.
So it's 4.5 points of damage each. Yeah. So for every 2 guys I put on you is 9. So 4 guys should be half a jack.
Yeah.
So I mapped out doing half a jack damage to 3 of your jacks, and then the hope was that I succeeded at that, and then the next turn would be able to send in another wave and start actually removing jacks.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to kill and chew through this front mess, but I don't care.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what they're there for. And, I mean, with Dark Shroud, they get good work done anyway. So, and with Reach, you're able to get a lot of dudes on
well, I still have my Basher.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like the key right now is the Basher isn't going to really be in it this game, but he's going to be super clutch next turn.
For this turn, yeah. Oh, because he's knocked down, so he has to sack something. So.
Yeah, I have to sack mover action, because I was knocked down during my turn prior to activating.
Right. So here's lots of rolls.
I rolled a little subpar, I think, but I think it came back later, so I don't think it matters. I wasn't going to kill much this turn. So I just sort of derp everything forward, because I'm dumb and in a rush, because now I'm starting to eat a lot of clock up.
Welcome to my world.
And then I make a big mistake. I forget during a couple of his shots that some of his jacks are -3 rat.
No, they're not. It comes off the caster. You have to affect the caster in order for the rat to drop. Yep. Because the rat is... That's why I had her back, because I knew... Same thing with blind. You can blind me. It does not affect them in terms of their mat, because it's based on the caster. So
that is good knowledge to know.
Yes, it is.
I only blind your temps.
Yes, that's glorious. I've been there, done that.
Tap blinding is amazing.
Yes. Gorman with snipe. So this is me trying to just figure out... I know I just have to try and kill as much stuff as possible. I do have a good long look at how I can get to Gorten. So Gorten is the darker model right in front of the objective, right? And then behind some Risen. So I spend a long time looking to try and... Yes, to try and figure out how I can get in there, because I have lots of jacks up there, but I'm -3 speed, so I can't charge, or the only thing I can do is run. My modulator at the back behind my objective is he's fine. He's not in the feet, but it was dicey because I'm only mat 5, so if I'm able to use my I could use my assimilator to ground pound and clear out a good chunk that's in front of Gorten, but then even after Road to War, the only thing that I can get in range of Gorten is the modulator. He's only POW 14 base, so I would have to run him in order to get him there, because I don't think I was close enough to be able to charge even with a Road to War.
You couldn't Road to War really, because the building and the objective stopped you from getting it.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, because I wouldn't have been able to get a straight line. Yeah. So the only option was going to be to run him. The ground pounder could clear a spot probably without too much difficulty, 2 Gorten, and I've got the diffuser shots as a backup if need be. But I've only got a Mat 5 POW 14 there at that point. I could cast Engine of Destruction, but that's another 2. So I'd be looking at 2, and then I'd have... the math didn't work out in terms of what I had left after allocation and stuff for the jackhammers, because I think you're camping 2 focus as well.
Yeah, I'm camping 2.
You're camping 2, your armor 19.
2 is my magic number.
So I'm dice off 5 with, I think I could have got a maximum of like maybe 5 attacks or something on him, so it wasn't gonna...
Needing ace to hit.
Yeah, so so if I cast Engine of Destruction, I become Mat 9, but that's 2 more focus that I have to spend. So it just didn't work out. In order to make it even better, I would have had to also cast Redline, but then I'm down to like squaddle nothing for jackhammers.
Well,
so
you're three jackhammers.
Yeah. So
add dice off 3.
Yeah. So and you had 2 focus on you. Yeah. So it's so I opted just to go for the attrition, try to kill as many dudes as possible. With the I've got Hand of Vengeance up on my conservator, so he's Mat 7 base, and POW 17, I believe. So. Yep. Basically between Road to War, movement, jackhammers, and initials, I'm just going to try and clear out as many of those halberdiers, and I think there's a mix of... Is there some press gangers in there too? Or maybe just
2
one
press gangers and halberdiers, and then I have 2 press gangers in front of my caster.
Yeah, so I'm just getting gummed down at this, gummed up at this moment, at this time.
I
with
also
all
did
the
score
dudes,
1
so.
the last turn.
Yes, you did, because it was all you had to clear was those 3 dudes. So, so it's 1-0 right now. And I just know I have to try to kill as many dudes as possible. I should have paid more attention to Ragman. Was it this turn or last turn when I could have... No, with the Road to War.
The next turn.
Right.
I don't know if you could have Road to War to Ragman this turn, but the next turn you definitely could have.
Mm-hmm. His sack pawn only works for shots, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so that was a mistake at one point here. Because Ragman's definitely a key part. He makes those the halberdiers hit even harder, so... I'm just road to warring around to try and get good spots for my jack. So I'm moving up. I'm doing a line to try and maximize what I can get. I think I'm typically getting a couple dudes per shot here in terms of the direct line from my base to your base, from center to center. Yeah, just trying to kill as many of these dudes in front of me as possible, because there's still a ton of dudes on the table. Ground Pounder and the direct line shot are a big part of this list in terms of dealing with this kind of dude spam. Otherwise, I would be... Like, if I had a Prime Axiom, I think I'd be in big trouble, because I just would not have the volume of attacks to be able to... Unless I did, like, sweeps or something, but that's not being super efficient either, because then I'm not dragging and stuff. So I think in this particular matchup, those are key pieces to try and deal with the dude spam as much as possible.
You lose harder if you have Prime Action in this game.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. So here I'm just trying to get, with the way he charged, I can get a couple of elimination servitor shots into the back of his press gangers and halberdiers. I think you tuffed.
I think you miss one and you hit one and I tough.
Yeah, and I think you're close enough to...
Tough and just in the bubble.
Yeah, in the bubble for Grogspar, so he's not knocked down.
Gordon, solid ground.
Oh, yeah, solid ground, okay.
Grogspar is a 7-inch bubble.
Oh, right, and he's way up.
He's the medium base.
Oh, okay, gotcha, he's way back there. Yeah, so... Road to War, a couple of guys around, so the Cypher that's way in the back there by Cory, he's still where the orange proxy is. It's just a lot of spears in there. Move my Corollary up, I believe, at some point here to make sure I dole out the extra focus from him.
Mechanic heals.
Oh yes, Mechanic. I was able to get Mechanic in on 2 guys to help keep them alive, because that Conservator had taken, even at armor 20, had taken some good damage.
18 Dark Shroud.
Yes. Yeah, so yeah, just trying to keep them in the game as much as possible. I really like the armor 18 on the Conservator is really nice to keep him in the fight, and he's pretty cheap, which is also nice. So, and Hand of Vengeance, being able to proc that off things like shield guards and stuff is pretty nifty. So here I'm just taking my attacks. This is my... I can't remember if this is jackhammering. I think I jackhammered first. I can't fully recall. But it's a combination of jackhammering and initial attacks just to try and clear out as many, because there's a ton of the halberdiers especially in my face, because with the reach he could get like at least 2 deep on all of my my dudes. So I was trying to kill as many of them as possible. I did. Is Alexia dead at this point?
Yeah, you got
I
Alexia
did
earlier.
kill Alexia. She was a prime target earlier on as well because I didn't want to. It's bad enough to be dealing with this many dudes, but to then deal with this many dudes plus having them come back. They don't come back as, I mean, Risen aren't anything to phone home about. But
Just buys a turn.
They jam, and if she gets a clutch charge or something, she can get a lot of work done, especially with Ragman nearby as well. So, yeah, so just doing my initials here. I think Locke has already gone. It looks like she doesn't have any focus left on her, so
Yeah, you started the turn by jackhammering it.
yeah, to try to get cleared out as much as possible. Don't forget that when you jackhammer, it does not proc Road to War because it is not an attack during your activation. So that's a key thing to remember. Here I am. I believe I've also got Engine of Destruction up. I believe that's by her. I can't remember if I used Engine of Destruction this turn or not. I think
No, you just hard rolled everything.
Yeah. Okay.
You bought like 6 jackhammers.
Yeah, yeah. So, so yeah, cleared out a decent amount of dudes there, but there's still more coming. So it's I'm running out of quality attacks I have high quality attacks, just not enough of them to necessarily deal with enough of the dudes to make a dent. And I don't know. I'm not sure if I could have gotten anything meaningful onto your Basher. I think I was kind of ignoring the Basher, which I didn't realize he was such a key part of your list in terms of the slams and stuff. I could have maybe gotten I probably could have got the Assimilator on him, and it's a POW 14 Weapon Master, so that's something. But
Yeah, and it's only over 19, so the POW 14 Weapon Master will do
yeah,
it.
yeah, I probably should have focused a little bit more there, because I think with between the Road to War and my regular movement and 1-inch reach, I probably could have got there. So I think we're over to you now. You're measuring out some stuff here, so
I am just deciding where I'm going to run. So
yes,
my problem here is deciding what's going to score the zone and still give me models to participate in the game. You feet purified, so I don't have solid ground ups. Now do I cast solid ground? So what I've realized is I can run Risen to the zone. So I clear the top of the zone and clear out anything you could run in with the steelhead. My mistake here is the 2 steelhead nearest the house should have actually pushed the edge of the zone to stop you from running something back in.
right, yeah.
That's again a placement error. I'm trying to decide what to do with the Forge Guard. So instead I rock Gorten back to sort of be at the edge of the zone. I got to get stuff out of the way. The Basher's going to slam, and he's got Strength of Granite up now. So the Basher's going to be amazing.
POW 19 or something?
Yeah, POW 19. I forgot the second part of Dave's feat, which is just to purify, but he gains the power tokens.
Yeah.
So
Which against your list isn't a huge... There's not a whole lot
it is because to stop the Forge Guard from killing that Jack.
Oh, okay, okay.
So my Forge Guard would have gone in and killed the Chainline Jack, because 4
Right.
of them can easily charge, and 4 Forge Guards should do pretty good work on it.
Right, right.
And if they don't kill it, they still do a ton of damage to it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
engage it, so it can't walk away.
Yes, yeah.
But Dave selects correctly and gets 9 million tokens on it, and it's defense 3,000.
Well, I knew that the Stompy Jacks were going to be... They're only def 10 anyway, and they were damaged enough that it wasn't going to be a big deal, so I knew the modulator was probably the right target. And he's partially behind the house, so his defense goes up a bit too.
So I slam the Ground Pounder Jack, I follow up, because I want to kill the modulator in the zone, because at this time I was still thinking about scoring, and I should have dropped that. I should have actually just followed completely up and killed the Ground Pounder Jack, because it's a pain. Though I would have stopped at the first of the dudes you passed over. Collateral with Strength of Granite was actually PAL 16, so the collateral is really good.
Everything
the
just
the
dies.
slam's a PAL 19, which is nice, so I do like straight dice damage.
You landed directly on an arc node, and then I think there's 2 servitors or
Yeah,
something.
I hit 2 servitors.
Yeah.
And then I'm able to remove the heaviness in the zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're able to follow up to within
Follow up
melee,
to within an inch of it, and then
your
it's
POW 19.
just PAL 19's in the rear arc.
And I'm under dark. Am I?
You're
Dark Shroud?
you're under Dark Shroud
Yeah,
at that point.
Yeah. So
it's effectively PAL 21. It's dice plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I think at this point again, Dave's super low on clock. I'm realizing I'm going to be up 2-0 at the end of this turn. I just need to not die. So it's a matter of like, what do I throw in front of me? I screw up and I meant to headbutt, forgetting you can't headbutt larger jacks. So I'm trying to figure out how to like knock the jack down and still get Forge Guard onto it. So instead, because I'd already moved it and then moved back and didn't know exactly where it was placed, I just ran it forward. I brought my other jack in just to engage it. So like at least it can't go towards me. It's
yeah.
got to move away from me to shoot.
I also can't shoot you. You shoot
Yeah.
while engaged. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got to move away. So he's not going to be able to shoot the Forge Guard if I run it forward. Meaning the only jack that's a problem is the Ground Pounder Jack. But then I place my Forge Guard to protect my caster. So you can't just run into him via and then jackhammer to death.
Yeah. I think that's really what Locke likes to do, especially with these heavy spams. There's a lot of venues for it. So.
I also, at the end of the turn here, realized I should have just let you run to me and jackhammer, because I've worn Midwinter.
Yes. I did remember that.
And I could have stopped you, so I actually pushed Warren Midwinter up at the end of the turn, realizing
because it's any model within 3 inches.
Correct.
Yeah. So he can negate 3 jackhammers if Oren's in the right spot.
So Oren runs up here, and I didn't realize at the end when I looked at Oren, I'm like, oh my god, he negates spells.
Mm-hmm.
So
I checked that at the beginning because I'm like, is it only when I target one of his dudes? But no.
So I've placed my Forge Guard poorly because of that, and I should have spread him out better. But again, I was just trying to protect Gordon, knowing that now I'm up 2-0. It's the bottom of turn 4.
I think I've also clocked at this point too.
You're about to clock. You have about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, but I'd like to play the game out, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're a new caster, and we shouldn't punish you for only this being your first game.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty shitty move to be like, I won. You don't get to finish the game out and see how you could have done, because the game's still super in flux right now.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on that one turn under your feet trying to figure out if I could get a jack somehow to Gordon.
Yeah, it was 4.5 minutes.
Yeah. So that was.
And then you another 2 minutes to figure out allocation, and then your jackhammer stuck. It wasn't just I kill a guy, I kill a guy, I kill a guy. There was a lot of effort put in that.
Yeah.
Which would be more instinctive had you played 10 more games.
Yeah.
Again, which is why I'd rather finish the game out. And I know that play the game in 2 months, this game goes completely differently.
So here we got
your ground
pounder. Yep, trying to drop it on a juicy 7
plus
Forge Guard or something.
7 plus the objective. I think actually tough 3 times.
So that was pretty glorious. Yes, yeah, you did some good toughs there from the toughs on there from Rupert. So I knew Rupert was also a key piece, but he's typically far enough back that it's hard to, unless you got Magic Bullet or some janky thing to get to him, it's hard to get rid of him.
You had like a champ though. You didn't miss any of those.
Yeah, I know.
Those 8 rolls. So needing 5 to hit.
Yeah, good time.
Which is pretty. You should get it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I think I crack armor on all of them because you're 18. Yep. I need 6s. Yep. So
and you boosted 3.
Oh yeah, because I needed to. I put the focus on him anyway. I knew it was going to bounce to the other jacks anyway. Yep. So it was. Well, I did forget to activate the corollary first, and he would have gotten the focus, and I could have given him an extra one, saving one of the focus from.
Totally made 4
Locke,
of those 8 saves.
Yep. So that was pretty.
4 of those 7.
Pretty good time. But you don't have solid ground.
I'm knocked down. Yeah.
So. And Grogspier's thing is only for Sea Dogs.
The Privateer, I think.
Yeah. So, so just trying to clear things out at this point. I know the game. I know technically I've already lost. So just trying to get as much work done as possible. The Hand of Vengeance is procced on the Conservator, so he's Mat 7 base. I can't remember if I've already gone with Locke and done. Engine of she's still got all of her focus on her, so yeah. So I think he just went and with his initials was able to clear some guys out. And with the heavies, it's a nice trick because if you kill a dude and you proc Road to War, you can actually move your heavy and then do your next attack. So that was a good. I was trying to kind of chew through the guys and be able to move that way to get in a spot because the Conservator only has reach of 1. So trying to take out as many guys as possible. Both of the jacks in the bottom circular zone are pretty beat up. I think the Assimilator is in pretty bad shape too. He took a POW 19 slam, so I can't remember exactly where he's at. I think his shooting arm is still up, so that's something. Oh yes, his shooting arm was up because I was able to hit all the Forge Guard. So just trying to stay in the zone. I know the top zone is basically lost because I think I have just enough room. Cory left me just a spot by the house there in order to get. I've got a mechanic just behind the modulator that I could run in to contest that zone because I know I'm running out of throwaway models to get into that zone. I could have maybe a smarter move would have been to run the corollary up there, but then it gives you more to chew through, I guess. And if you're engaged, then you're only POW. What's your base POW of the Halberdiers? 11.
They stay 11. I just don't get the charge.
So it's dice off 5. So, but it's you're still probably going to kill it at that point too because you can get so many.
You also start losing shooting attacks.
Yeah.
So you roll over here and you actually take you kill 4 guys with shooting.
Yeah. That's true because I was with them grouped up like that. I was able to get the direct lines in such a way that I could hit at least a couple of guys at once. So. Modulator is definitely nice that way. I like him also against single wound infantry because Plasma Nimbus means that On the counterattack, you're probably going to be, your single wound infantry are probably going to be dying, and not necessarily getting super meaningful work done unless they're something like Weapon Masters that hit really hard on the way in. So, and it's a pretty cheap piece too. So there I roll 16, so that's pretty great. All I have to do is basically hit the guys, because your armor's, is it 13?
Armor 13, so you need...
So I need 4s to
kill. And you only need 8s to hit, so like a boost is... You need a boost of 8, which is pretty common.
Yeah. So, so that was them, and that's back over to you now. You're allocating out your focus here. So
my intent for this turn is I just honestly need to kill the objective. Remove the one dude in front of me, and if I can kill the knockdown jack, then it's like a bonus.
Yeah.
I have 3 Forge Guard that can charge. So I walk up with a spray bunny, I spray the objective, and the light jack. Diffuser. I do some damage to both.
Yeah, your dice off 8 and dice off 6.
So I do some damage to both. It wasn't bad. I spray again. I strip one's the light jack, and then I do a couple points of damage to the back of the other one.
Yeah, because you're in my back arc, so I'm not getting my shields.
So out of command, first caster run. Second guy charges because he's in command.
That was the turn that I forgot. So Ragman is sitting in the water, and I could have either jackhammered or boosted on him, and that was a big mistake on my part. I think I couldn't see him behind the inverter, and I just kind of forgot about him. So that was bad times. Having Ragman still alive is not cool. So Ragman I'm assuming he's walked up and done his thing and making everybody hit harder.
Yep. And then I charge Grogspur in, who does, I think, the last 3 points to kill you.
Yeah, those...
Negative, sorry. The pirate then charged after Grogspur. You failed to hit.
Oh, right. I missed on the free strike.
Missed on the free strike. I think it does like 1 point of damage to your back or 2 or something. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. These guys are both pretty low.
So effectively, I just have to kill the light jack. So I put 2 Forge Guard on the light jack, 1 Forge Guard into the big jack. I overkill it by 8 points, so I don't think the Dark Shroud mattered, which is lucky, because the Forge Guard's amazing.
Yep.
And then the 2 other Forge Guard finish off the light. So now I just have the Basher. Which David backed up with Road to War, so I could have slammed. But then I'm like, well, I can just score points. So I move over, I kill the objective with my first attack, and then I buy 3 on the ground pounder jack.
Yep. And your POW, you still have Strength of Granite up?
I have Strength of Granite up, so POW 19.
Yeah, so your dice plus 1.
Dice plus 1 on the objective, and then I dice plus 1 on the jack. So
yeah.
The already wounded jack from the previous turn.
Yeah, because I think the main catalytic inversion, the catalytic tokens that I've got are on the modulator up top. So
yep. So I kill the guy in the zone, put 2 models in the jack, and when I charge the jack, I just lose 2 models because of Power Nimbus. But at this point, score goes to 4-0. Sorry, 5-0. I score for the objective.
Yeah.
So I actually win this turn because I forgot to score the point for the objective.
Yeah. Oh, did we? Because you scored 1 there.
I scored 1, and then I scored a second one.
And you're scoring the middle zone too. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. That would have been 3. So that would have put you to 5. But yeah. At this point, it's it was game over a while ago. But there's I'm definitely running out of attacks. I think the Locke list likes, and we're done at this point. But I think the Locke list really likes lists with lots of jacks. Also likes hordes. You get a lot more use out of the feat tokens under something like hordes, where they're forcing lots. Like you had the 3 jacks.
You put me down to about 15 models, eh?
Yeah.
Which most lists don't.
Yeah.
Like 15 models, I have tough, can't be knocked down.
Yeah.
I've only played this a few times, but like at Moxes against Dunford, I still had probably 20 models up to the end of the game.
Yeah.
You killed both my jacks while my dudes were living.
Yeah.
So like you did a lot more work than I thought your list would.
Yeah. I knew the ground pounder and the ground pounder and the modulator were going to be a big part of the dude spam, because I've got a lot of high quality attacks, but a limited number of them. Jackhammer definitely helps that, because it can potentially clear out a lane and then charge afterwards, kind of thing. But it was definitely it was a lot of dudes to chew through. I knew Alexia was going to be a key one to get rid of. My going into the game, my targets were the Driller, Alexia, Rupert, and Ragman, and Eris. Those were my key kind of target. I mucked up later on Ragman, because I had a line on him, and I could have taken him out, but I think at that point it was too little too late. But yeah, there's a lot of dudes to chew through. Look forward to playing some more Locke into other lists. I think she'll do quite well into other Beast and Jack.
She's really neat. Like for me, the difficulty with Locke was that no matter where I put Ragman, there was a chance you could road to war too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the non-linear
jackhammering to clear path, and then hitting with the guy, moving road to war, spending speed focus, transferring. Next guy hits road to wars, or clears some space, then road to wars to clear more space.
Yeah, the non-linear threat ranges are really
your
nice.
Ability to clear like 5 models with a jack because you just road to war to get within reach of others is really good.
Yeah, it's definitely she's got a lot of shenanigans there. I made some mistakes with focus allocation, and also there's at least one turn where I should have activated Locke first and cast Engine of Destruction, because your dudes were just at that Def 13 is right at that tipping point where
it's not as past.
Yeah, exactly. So I need that. I need the Engine of Destruction up, unless I can land flares or something from the flare bots. But it really, I need that Engine of Destruction up first before I'm doing things like jackhammering. Especially when some of your models also have tough, so that makes my chance of clearing them out even less. But
especially if it's tough no knockdown.
Yeah, that's.
I think I threw the press ganger was way too fast. If I'd held them a little back better.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Because I forgot Grogspar works on press gangers.
Yeah, it's pretty huge when you're Def 13 and you've got tough and no knockdown is pretty bad. But Locke's pretty sweet. There's several different builds out there for her. I was initially planning to put Prime Axiom in the list. I don't have him fully built, so and with looking on the forums and things, lots of folks seem to be leaning more toward the heavy spam, because you can potentially get a heavy so far between like Redline adding, for example, an assimilator that's a POW 14 weapon master, or a...
So you have an 18-inch threat.
Yeah, so being able to run, because he becomes speed 7 with
1-inch reach,
with 1-inch reach and road to war, so he can run for 14 plus the road to war plus the 1-inch reach, and then you get if you're getting a like an Engine of Destruction, which puts him to Mat 9, POW 16 because of Redline Weapon Master. I think that kind of stuff is the key stuff that can catch people off guard, is clearing those lanes and then getting a large base into a spot where somebody maybe didn't think they could land, especially since I've got some jacks with reach as well. But she's really fun. She's got a lot of janky stuff. I need more practice with her to kind of figure out my order of activations and make sure I'm doing proper road to war targets and such. But it was a good game and a good experience with her initially. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like the content that we're creating, please go ahead and hit like on that video, subscribe to the channel. You can message us on Facebook if you have any comments on the matchup, or comment directly on our Facebook page. So thanks for watching, and we will have the match for next week posted shortly. See you next week.